Oh, goody.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So we got a new developer roadmap today, and it seems to be quite improved from the last time we've had one of these. Not only in terms of like the structure and communication, but in terms of things I think people will actually be kind of excited about. So let's dive into what's going on with Marvel Snap in the near future. So here we can see the roadmap. They've shifted it around a bit. So they have coming soon. This is all stuff that is coming really soon. Most of the stuff is this month. And then Deadpool's Diner 2.0 will be rejoining the game next month. And then stuff that is a little bit further out, but not super far down the line in Character Mastery, which is finally making a return after it sounded like it was being axed. Super Premium Season Pass, which is replacing the higher tier, the $15 version of the Season Pass, album preview and wishlist, and a new limited time mode, which is slated for early next year. First up is High Voltage. This is joining the game on Wednesday, so 2 days from now. And yeah, new limited time mode. From what I can tell, there is no limit on playing this like the Diner. You can just jam it as much as you want, but it's only going to be around for a week. We did have some more clarification in terms of how the mode is going to work. You start with 2 cards in hand, but you draw 2 cards every turn. Also, you are allotted a random amount of 2 to 5 energy each turn, and that does stack. So if you get 5 energy on turn 1, and then you get another 5 energy on turn 2, you'll have 10 energy on that turn 2. Your opponent will also have the exact same amount of random energy as you do. There are some banned cards for this event. These include Magic, Black Widow, and Galactus, as well as a longer list of banned locations. But this seems like a new, interesting, fast-paced way to play Marvel Snap, especially if you don't care about the snapping, because that is not a part of this. And it's only 3 turns, so very quick games. Going to be an interesting deck-building challenge, and you got some nice cosmetic, credit rewards, and probably most importantly, a new Season 4 card that you can obtain for free just by playing the mode. Again, that drops on Wednesday, so I'm looking forward to covering that and taking it for a spin, because I think this is the most interesting of the alternate ways we've gotten to play Snap so far. We also got some news on the Collector's Vault. So this is something that they've been showing off or talking about leading up to its release later this month. It sounds like it's going to be a monthly thing. Basically, this is where the old bundle variants are returning. So you can see a lot of old bundle ones here. The variants have to have been out for at least a year before they can show up here. And we can also see the various pricing of these variants, with the cheapest one being 1,400 gold and the most expensive one being a whopping 2,500 gold. In general, I think this has been positively received. People are happy they have a chance to get things that they may not have been playing or missed or just didn't get at the time. So that's good. We'll see how people react to the pricing, but in general, seems like a decent feature. It sounds like you're only going to be seeing 6 variants at a time per whenever the vault comes back. And if you don't see one of these super high rarity ones with the max price here, one of them will be guaranteed to show up in your next collector's vault. Sounds like they're aiming for once a month with this type of thing, but we'll see. But yeah, if you're interested in picking up one of the old variants from a bundle you missed out on, that is a way to do it. Currently, they do not plan on doing the Season Pass variants in here, but who knows, maybe that'll change over time. We have the anniversary celebration, including some currency borders and a premium mystery variant. That's coming up, I believe, in a week or 2 or something like that. Later on this month, free stuff, login rewards, pretty standard. Deadpool's Diner is coming back next month, apparently. Not much info on this other than there are going to be new meals, updated rewards, and more. So here's hoping they have found a way to iterate and improve upon what Deadpool's Diner was before. I know some people really liked it. I wasn't too big of a Diner fan, so I do hope they have found a way to make it maybe more appealing and enjoyable overall, because the mode could have quite a bit of potential, but there was a lot of room for improvement from the first 1.0 version, so curious to see what changes they have made here next month. Next up, Character Mastery is going to be making a return, and I think this is the thing most people are going to be excited about. This is the thing I'm probably most excited about. I really liked the idea that Snap was kind of rewarding you for doing the thing that most people like to do, which was going in on splitting a character numerous times and getting different cool cosmetic rewards to really show off, like, hey, I have split this character a lot of times, this is my favorite character, etc. And it looks like that stuff is coming back. Each character will have their own little character mastery track, which presumably as you split them and maybe some other things, I don't know, gets you to level it up and you get different effects and finishes and all this type of stuff. This seems really cool. I think a lot of people wanted something like this. It's a good sense of progression. It's a good, cool way to get some new cosmetic stuff without having to pay money. Yeah, it's just really neat. So I'm very happy this seems like it is making its way back to the game, whereas previously we thought it was going to be scrapped for the foreseeable future. And not only is this announcing that it is going to be coming back, but it's not that far out apparently. It is estimated that Character Mastery will be joining the game before the end of the year. And they are adding a bunch of new flares and finishes and all this kind of stuff with Character Mastery. We can see an example of some of them here, like a new kind of textured gold, banana one that we've seen some of the data mines, more space one on the Rocket Raccoon. So it looks like this is how they're going to be implementing some of those data mined effects that we've seen in the recent patch data mines. And the biggest thing of all about it is it's retroactive. So you're not going to have to just start spending money and getting more splits as this comes out. It will retroactively be applied to the cards you've already split a ton, which is great. We can also see some more of the mastery rewards here, including some of these little react emojis for different characters, which is neat. So yeah, here's hoping Character Mastery does indeed end up launching before the end of the year, because I think that would be a great way to send out the year with a bang. We have a brief mention of the Super Premium Season Pass here. Not too much about what that's going to entail. It sounds like it's going to replace the Season Pass Plus, which is like the $15 version that gets you a little more progression. I have noticed myself and others like stop buying that a long time ago, because all you're really getting is just a few, 5 extra levels of those bonus caches, and it's just not really worth $5. So I'm curious to see what this looks like. They do mention that it is going to, I guess, improve over time, and something about making the biggest deck builders smile. So maybe we're finally getting more deck slots. That's been a commonly requested feature. Maybe they end up throwing those in the Pass Premium. I could definitely see that happening. Album preview and wish list. This is kind of a smaller thing, but I guess you can click the little album icon and see like how far you are along on the album. Cool, neat. I don't think most people are going to care about this, but it's a nice little quality of life thing. They also have a new limited time mode that we haven't yet seen, that is apparently in the works for early next year. So we'll see what happens with that. Draft mode, draft mode wasn't on the roadmap, but it's nice that they actually bothered to address it rather than just let people wonder, oh, did they cancel draft again? But yeah, they are working on draft mode, but basically they're taking longer to work on it because they want it to have a unique Snap element, and they specify what they want draft to be. They want it to have clear and exciting deck building goals, with fun gameplay that feels unique from Constructed and highly replayable. And their line about it here, I think, explains pretty well why draft is likely to take a bit longer in some of these limited time modes we're seeing. Draft is a tougher nut to crack than it may seem. In conception, Snap wasn't originally designed with drafting in mind. For example, if drafting a discard deck feels like playing a weaker version of the normal discard deck, that's not going to be a special experience to our players. To be clear, we're excited about Snapdraft, but we're evaluating a wide range of potential solutions, but it would take time to find the best path to translate the core joys of Snap into a draftable experience worthy of your time, so we appreciate your patience. I think that's a good way to go. I have never been the biggest draft person, but I do think if they want draft to succeed, given that draft really isn't usually successful in a lot of these digital card games, it's often just not a very popular format. They need something that makes it different and not just like, oh, I'm playing worst discard. Oh, I'm playing worst destroy. You need to give people a hook that makes draft exciting and feel different. So I'm not sure what they're going to come up with there, but hopefully they find something cool for it. New cosmetic types, don't mention much here, but we do get a preview of a new board, which has been a highly requested feature. So that's cool. Curious what this is going to cost and if we'll see any freebies of this available, but we'll see. And then a few other things to round it up here. We do have some information that during next week's OTA, Misery is going to be getting a stat bump from a 4.7 to a 4.8. So yeah, if you were on the fence about Misery and this makes a difference to you, now you know. Misery is getting a little bit of a buff. I like that they are telling us beforehand rather than after she is rotated out of the caches, so people can decide accordingly. I've really liked Misery, especially after the Zabu buff. I think she's a pretty good card, and this makes her even better. Though I do think they really mainly do this if a card is just drastically underperforming their sales expectations. Like I don't think Misery is actually a bad card at 4.7. Maybe before the Zabu buff, she was worse, but yeah, I think they mainly do this when a card is truly, like, really not meeting their expectations sales-wise, as we saw with Hydra Bob, who was in a similar, if not worse, position before he got buffed. So yeah, that's all the news for the roadmap. We did have a little bit of stuff in the team answers here about clarification. I'm not going to go over all of these, but the big one I wanted to showcase here is what happened to card acquisition improvements. In the previous roadmap posted 4 months ago, card acquisition and improvements was listed under the in-concept section. This time it's completely absent, with the team considering the limited time events as improvements towards the card acquisition. And they say, no, we don't consider the limited time events as card acquisition improvements, but we learned from the last dev roadmap to not list things that are not ready to be talked about. So it wasn't in this one, which makes sense. I'm sure people aren't going to be happy to hear that card acquisition improvements still seem a long ways out, as they always have been. But yeah, at least we know. The other questions in here are more about the collector's vault, but I kind of covered a lot of that when we talked about that section. The Season Pass Super Premium is replacing the Premium Plus for $15. Apparently they're still listening to feedback about leagues because, yeah, people don't seem to like leagues and we keep getting them, so we'll see what happens there. But other than that, not too much else information-wise in here. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting this today. This came as a bit of a surprise to wake up to, but pretty good information. They actually had a little video feature with It's Guess Gaming explaining stuff, and I think that went a lot better than how they've traditionally done roadmaps in the past. So it's nice to see them learn from some of those big pitfalls, because I feel like the last few times we've gotten a roadmap update, it's led to a lot of frustration from people, whereas this one I think I'm seeing a bit more excitement. So that's cool. Overall, my thoughts, character mastery is the big one for me. I thought that was one of the things I was most excited for when we first heard about it. I was really sad when it got scrapped, and it's nice to hear not only is it coming back, but it might even come back before the year is over. So that's pretty sweet. Looking forward to it. Let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments below, and if you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.